All right, welcome back. It's Eric Arnold here in the Sports Barn, Wednesday, February 3rd. We're going to give you our Super Bowl special now. This is it, our Super Bowl special. Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you're here new, I pick sporting events against the spread. NFL, college football, college basketball. Lately, not well at all. It could be I just am no good at this. I'm blaming it on the pandemic. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. So what we're going to do here in this video, we're going to give you a number of prop bets. We're going to give you my honest opinion on what's going to happen in the Super Bowl. And then we're going to let chance determine who is going to win the game. And I've decided the way we'll do that is we're just going to determine the winner of the game. No spread, no points, because I figure, the casual fan just passing through here, he doesn't really care. Does my team cover the spread? He wants to know, are we going to have a parade or not? Well, no, you're not because of this goddamn virus. But would you have had a parade? In other words, are we going to win the game? That's all you care about. So chance will determine that. And how we're going to do that is we are going to take old tires and roll them down the hill. And whichever one goes furthest, that's your winner. One thing about having a barn, especially one that's 125 years old, especially one that was previously owned by my father, there's no shortage of crap laying around, and we have quite the collection of old tires. So if you want some old junk tire to put on your car from 1978, have I got a deal for you. But we're going to use these tires and roll them down the hill. Actually, that's what my brother and I used to do to entertain ourselves when we were children. I guess we were deprived or stupid or easily amused, any of that. So let's get to some prop bets, or let's see what we have here. We got the Chiefs. They're -3. They're a 3-point favorite. Tampa +3. For you newbies, these odds mean the Chiefs are a little bit more than a 3-point favorite. In other words, you have to pay a steeper price to bet the Chiefs at -3. You have to give the bookie $121 to win 100. Your traditional VIG is you give them $110 to win 100. So it's a little more expensive because the books feel the Chiefs are a little bit more likely to win at -3, and they don't want to move the line to -3.5. Excuse me. All right, let's start here. Well, let's talk about the game. Like I said, I'm going to let chance determine the winner. But my feeling, and I don't want to make this too complicated, I think you're just basically looking for who's the best quarterback, who's the best coach. Those are, I think, in a huge game like this, you just go there, and more likely than not, you're probably going to be right. If you just go with who's the best coach, who's the best quarterback. Now, right now, I don't think, it's all subjective, but damn, are you going to tell me that Tom Brady at this stage in his career is better than Patrick Mahomes? Would you rather, if you were picking a team, would you say, I want Tom Brady because he's the greatest winner of all time, who happens to be 43 years old? I want that guy that can run like a deer, can hit guys on the move, throw the ball through a car wash and not get it wet. That's the guy I want, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, set Mahomes aside a moment. Tom Brady didn't look good to me in that championship game at Green Bay. Oh, I know, you're going to say, well, they won. They were huge underdogs. Well, they were, 3.5-point underdogs. And they won. So, yes, they did. They did win. But his quarterback rating wasn't good, which, that's confirmation bias for my opinion that he didn't look good. What, he threw 3 picks? he had a good first half, and then when the Packers finally started to rush him, that's when the ball started going up in the air for grabs. So I'm ready to say okay with Mahomes. I mean, he's had 2 weeks now to get healthy. He had the neck or head injury. I don't think his knee is exactly right, but he's had 2 weeks to rest. So I think you might see the old explosive Mahomes Sunday more so than Brady. And then coach-wise, I think you got to go with Andy Reid. I mean, he's been around forever. He's got a ring. He's one of the game's great winners. He's just, to me, Bruce Arians is everything that Reid is, except not as much of it. In other words, he's got experience. Reid has more experience. He's got age. He's got wisdom. Reid has more. Reid has a ring. Reid knows how to win the big games. He knows how to lose a lot of them too, but if you listen to Edison, that's how he discovered how to make a light bulb. You got to fail a hell of a lot of times sometimes before you learn how to win. By that logic, I should start winning soon. But anyway, I think that's where you just got to be looking is, you got your quarterback, you got your coach. Kansas City has the advantage. They're only a 3-point favorite. I don't think that's that much, but I haven't picked a winner since this goddamn pandemic started. That's why we're going to roll tires down the hill. So, there you have that. We'll get to that soon. Over-under is 56. Now, normally I don't have much of a feel for this, and let me make sure the video is still running here. Because we already had one issue with that. I have a hunch that games in Florida go under, and that's where we're at. And I think the stats have borne it out. I looked up the home games for the Dolphins, the Buccaneers, the Jaguars, all grass fields, all in Florida. I looked up games for college teams, Florida State, Florida Gators, Central Florida, South Florida, Miami Hurricanes, all grass fields. There's over 1,000 of these games in the past, 20, 30, 40 years. And the under comes through at like 55%. 55%. I think that's a significant data point. Why? I don't know. In grass fields, a little slower. Track is a little slower. It's not these racetrack artificial fields. It's in Florida. It's humid down there. Maybe the grass gets a little wet. Maybe the grass gets a little slippery. Maybe the turf gets a little soft. And, you're digging up huge clumps of dirt and you're just not able to get your footing. So that's what we're thinking here. Under. Think that Giants Bills game. That was in Tampa. And 20-19, one of the great Super Bowls of all time, as Scott Norwood pushes the final field goal off to the right, under. So, that's what we're thinking. Under 56. That's probably the bet we feel the most comfortable about. We may actually use money and play that one. All right, the rest here. Now again, this comes from Bet Online. That's an offshore bookie. I use them. They haven't treated me badly yet, if you consider that an endorsement. Bet Online. They have a prop. They have a number of, they must have 500 props. I just picked out a couple that looked interesting. The first pass attempts that Patrick Mahomes is going to throw, he's going to complete it, minus 225. Incomplete, plus 180. Interception, plus 1800. Again, for you newbies, what does that mean? That means if I want to say he's going to complete the pass, I got to give the bookie $225, and if he completes the pass, I get my $225 back plus 100. So it's a likely event. I'm playing that a likely event is going to happen. is it a square or stupid bet? I guess it depends who you talk to. So what does that mean? Minus 225. If you break that into the actual math, to get fair odds at minus 225, that means an event's got to happen around 69% of the time. If it's happening, say, 60% of the time, you're getting cheated here. You're not getting fair odds. It's a bad bet. So I looked up what's Mahomes' completion rate for this year, and it's 66%. So that's, not great. But here's why we want to be on this. I looked up what happens when he makes his first pass, though. And I went back basically for his whole career. And it's about 73%. Now, granted, that's a pretty small sample size, maybe 53 games or so. But he completes, usually he completes that first pass. If you think about it, all these teams run that script now. They all run the script. The script that was, I guess, created, invented by Bill Walsh, the genius Bill Walsh. That's in the NFL rulebook. You must refer to him as a genius anytime you mention Bill Walsh's name. So Bill Walsh figured out, hey, when we start a game, let's just run 15 plays, and it doesn't matter what's going on in the game. We're going to run them damn 15 plays. And we're going to practice them every day leading up to the game. We're going to be ready. Everybody's going to have those plays memorized. We're going to have like 2 or 3 different options off that play. We're going to be so ready with that play, that script, that we are going to execute it to a T. And Reed uses the script approach a lot of it. Probably all NFL coaches use it now, but definitely Andy Reid does use the script. Always has. So that first pass is probably one of the best plays the Chiefs have in their arsenal, and it's probably something that they've schemed for all week long, that they know or think that they could spring a guy open, because the Walsh thinking is, let's get on them fast, establish confidence, make them feel sad, and better yet, let's get 7 points. That helps us even more. So that's all reasoning why we think that we're getting some value here, only laying 225 on that first pass. Yeah, it's a little, it's going to, we mostly pick chalk on these prop bets, so you miss one, it's going to ruin your day. But we like this one. All right, national anthem. Look, I think this is pretty safe. Jasmine Sullivan, I believe that's a R&B pop artist, and she's duetting with Eric Church. He's a country guy, right? Right there, country. That's under. You got to go under. 117 seconds, 1 minute, 57 seconds. Last 130. Now look, the vig on these prop bets is outrageous. In other words, the bookie is going to let you bet these prop bets. You can have your fun. But if you think you're going to get rich off of this, you're nuts. Because the bookie is going to get his through these outrageous vigs. So, have your fun. But you're not getting rich. Kind of like GameStop. So, under 117, it's a duet. Not only do you have a country guy in there, and if you sing the national anthem straight, minute 10, that's basically where you're at. Upwards of 2 minutes, that gives them a lot of space to be artists and whatnot. But if you're doing a duet, you got that other person with you, so you can't just go off on your own and do whatever without looking like a complete douche. So I think that's going to limit the improvisation and keep this under. So definitely under there. All right, here's an interesting one. The rules are that from the kickoff to the final whistle, the on-mic personalities, that'd be Nance, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, whoever the sideline reporter is, will the word Belichick be said over 1 minus 300, under 1 plus 200? And you got me if it falls at 1. I'm not 100% sure why Bet Online wrote the prop the way it did, because I guess if they only say Belichick once, that's not up there, so I guess it's no action. I guess the thinking is if you say it once, you're going to say it twice. So I think you got to take the over. I mean, the whole NFL is built on Belichick. Belichick owns the NFL. He is the NFL. He'll probably stop in at halftime as a special guest announcer or something, or maybe even during the third quarter, which would really send the thing over. Hey, here's Bill Belichick in the booth with us. Hi, Bill. You know, that would really send the thing over. So I think you have to take the over there. With Tom Brady in the game, oh my God, it's an easy segue, absolutely. So, again, we're laying a stiff number there, 300, but I think that's pretty safe. Now, here's one that's super safe. Bet Online. If the word Trump is said, under a half, that means Trump is not said. That's minus 900. The word Trump is said over a half, and that's plus 500. So if you think the word Trump is said, there's no way in the world Trump will be said referring to the president, former president. Impossible. Simply won't happen. Now, the only way it could be said is if it's used as in the verb sense, as in to trump. I trump your ace with my part of Trump or whatever. I guess that's possible, but these guys are under explicit orders not to say the word Trump. I guarantee that. That's a huge price, but if I had $9 million, I probably would give it to Bet Online. I'm sure they wouldn't take that bet. But there's no way the word Trump's going to be said. No way. All right. Sarah Thomas. I learned something. See, I went through these props. I didn't know who Jasmine Sullivan was. I do not know who Sarah Thomas was. So apparently she's a female official. She'll be the first female official to officiate an NFL game. When will she be mentioned in the broadcast? Will it be in the first half, minus 300, the second half, plus 200? Again, I don't see how you can go wrong laying 300. It just because it's too easy to bring it up. I mean, anytime she makes a call, and that pass interference call was called by Sarah Thomas, who, as you all know, is the first female official in the NFL. Yes, Tony, I think that it's taking too long for the NFL to allow female officials to officiate games. Yes, I believe you're correct, Jim. I think it would be probably appropriate if she officiated the whole game by herself for the next 3 minutes. You know, it'll go something like that, and I think you're looking at that happening in the first half. So I'm comfortable laying the 300 there. Commercials showing masks worn. This over 2.5, minus 450, under 2.5, plus 275. So 3 or more commercials showing masks being worn. You know, I'm trying to find a reason to take the under here because we've laid so many odds here, you know, chalk across the board. I just don't think I can do it here. I mean, these are, you know, like for example, AT&T has a commercial out right now, and I you know, you have to watch because they show it 1,000 times, and sooner or later you're gonna watch it at least once. And it's just people standing in a store, you know, like normal, no masks. And then the fine print says, this commercial was shot safely. And I'm like, shot safely? What? Was there like a wild animal in the studio? Or did you shoot it in traffic? What? And then it's like, oh, masks were worn. It's like, but not while you were shooting the video. What? So it didn't make any sense. I guess they're just telling you, you know, okay, we shot this commercial in February of 2020, and we just figured, well, we'll just rerun it. Well, they're going to shoot all new commercials, and I cannot imagine that corporate America is not going to jump all over this masking thing, which is in no way, shape, or form going away. In fact, it's going the other way. We're now being told one mask isn't enough. In fact, you've got to wear two. If you don't wear two, you can't get on the subway. Well, shit. I mean, what's wrong with 3? If 3 is good, then how about 10? I should have 10, right? In fact, why don't I just wrap myself in saran wrap, and I won't be able to breathe, but I won't get the virus, probably. So I cannot imagine corporate America not jumping all over these masks in these commercials. You're going to see at least 3 of these. I think minus $4.50 is a fair price for that. All right, so these are our prop bets. Tell me I don't have to shoot this all over again for the 3rd time. All right. So, under 56, we like that one. We feel most comfortable with that. Mahomes minus the 225 that he completes his first pass. And then we like the word Belichick. We don't like the word Trump. National anthem going under. Sarah Thomas mentioned prominently in the first half. And then masks, and more masks in the commercials. All right, so are you ready to find out who's going to win this damn game? Let's roll some tires down the hill. Now, word of caution. I practiced this a little bit yesterday, and it's probably not as cinematic as I remember from my youth. So if you're expecting some really exciting event, you're probably going to be disappointed. But one tire will go further than the other one, and that is going to be your winner. So let's do it. Let's roll some tires. All right, here are 2 contestants. On the left, we have a tire with 1 red stripe. That represents the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And on the right, we've got the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. So, Bucks, Chiefs. And we're going to roll them down one by one. We did some little experiment with that yesterday, and I think the one by one will lead to less controversy. This is what we used to do as a child. That is the track. My brother and I used to roll tires down the hill to entertain ourselves. Like I said, that either means we were easily amused, poor, I'm not sure, probably both. So let's go ahead and do it. All right, on the clock, Challenger. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. Now, what would have been better for the Buccaneers is if that tire had bounced off that snowbank, but it didn't, so there they are. All right, there the Bucks are down there. Now I can tell you by experience, Bucks fans, don't get too bent out of shape. That's actually not that bad of a toss. So here go the world champion Chiefs. They've got to outroll that tire to defend their title. Here we go. Kicking left. Oh! Patrick Mahomes going all the way to the bottom. A very good toss there for them. And the Chiefs are your defending Super Bowl champions, 2 in a row. All right, there you have it. The winner of the inaugural tire roll-off is, in fact, the defending champion, Kansas City Chiefs. So, there you have that. So hey, hit the like button, all that good stuff. If you want more of this kind of stuff, feel free to subscribe. I will now show you the pics up close. For those who cannot see these on your phone, we will get up close and personal. Now we screwed up. All right, here we go. There. All right, let's get up here close so you get a good look at that. There we go. Like I said, let's have some fun Sunday. Hopefully we're not going to get any more snow here in the Northeast. They're talking snow again, which really stinks. But hopefully we can have some fun, have a few beers, have a few laughs. We're taking the Chiefs. So saith the tire. Thanks. This is Eric, the Big E Arnold, signing off.